stories that define hip-hop culture. You're now locked in to the Terminator Xperience podcast, where hip-hop history meets the culture right now. Hosted by DJ DVS and Minor, alongside the legendary Terminator X. We're talking classic moments, untold stories, and the voices that shape the game. Straight from the source. No filters, no filler, just real conversations and real hip-hop. Turn it up. This is the Terminator Xperience podcast.
All right, y'all, you know how we do. It's your main man, DJ Mix Mash, and this right here is the Terminator Xperience podcast. To my right, I got my main man, Terminator X. To my left, I got my main man, Minor. And on the line with us, we got the legendary, one of the founding fathers of this culture, Mr. BIGGS from the Soul Sonic Force. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, sir?
Peace and love. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so
honored to have you. Go ahead, mate.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, right, brother.
So let's get right into it, Mr. BIGGS. So, how did you get involved with the Zulu Nation?
Well, before we was Zulu Nation, we was Spades.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, we was baby Spades, young Spades, black Spades, and before we went on to Rumble, band would play music outside. He would put speakers outside his window. We play some music. Everybody get hyped up. And we went on and did what we had to do. But when that, cats started getting locked up, so a lot of cats got murdered. And at that time, the mayor of New York had a big thing out for gangs. Like he had, the gangs were just taking over New York. So when that got dismantled, we started the organization. You know what I'm saying? We started the organization, and within the organization, we had 5 dancers. We called them the Zulu dancers.
Mm.
And it got so big, so big, everybody wanted to be a Zulu dancer. So we eliminated the organization and just made the whole thing Zulu Nation.
Wow.
That's how it came about.
And how y'all came up with the group? Like how you guys met? Like when you met Bam and Power and the rest of the guys.
I was actually Bam's first MC. It was myself, a brother named Cowboy, God bless, not the one down with Flash, was down, and a sister named Pepsi, Kenya, we called her.
Okay.
And when he started, DJ, like Bam always had a love for music since he was a kid. That's why his record collection was crazy. And when he started DJing, it's funny, like, I remember the first time we did a paid event was at bottom of a project for a family member. And he got so tired DJing, he was the only DJ, Cowboy did a little DJing, that he needed another DJ. So the next day, he had tryouts for DJing.
Mm.
And it was my turn.
Okay.
And I hit the mixer so hard, all the turntables, everything just fell onto the ground. So he was like, "Yo, you just stick the rock in the mic." And that's where he put his brother named Zambu, which was one of the original Zulu dancers, DJ Africa Zambu.
Mm.
He became the next, the DJ for Bam. But and that's how we started. Like, it's just basically on a whim, like just something that caught on.
Wow.
Okay, that's what's up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was.
But as far as, I'm going to cut you off. As far as Soul Sonic, it was actually about 10 of us.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's
it
crazy.
was about 10 of us. And then that's where we broke the groups up. That's where the Cosmic Force came from and the Jazzy 5 came from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was probably was even more than 10.
Was we was just talking about? What's the record we was just talking about? The other one.
Who?
Play that.
Yeah, play that MC Globe.
Was Globe
Yeah,
part of that?
Globe came later. Globe was actually the last one to come.
Okay.
Because after he, you know, I was Powwow's man, God bless his dead. And he came and he got down. You know, we heard him rap. You know, his flow was so different. It was like, and that's when we decided to make, it was myself, Powwow, and Globe. And that's where that So Sonic came from. The So Sonic, as we know.
I always wanted to ask where the idea or the costumes came from. Like y'all always had these
Because
costumes.
we were big Parliament fans.
Yeah.
So our thing was to be the Parliament of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then back then, we went up. It was us, Sugar Hill, Furious, Curtis Blow. We were like the main ones that had like major tours. You know, not like the Chitlin circuit, you know, the tri-state area. Like we were like going all over the world, like all over the state. And we were going up against major bands. And back then you couldn't get on stage looking like somebody in the audience.
Yeah. Yeah. It
You
was
know
a
what I'm
different
saying?
time.
We went up against, I mean, we went up against Prince. We went up against Prince when the white man was to throw him over his shoulder.
Wow.
You know, we went up against the Gap Man, Zap featuring Raj, who else?
Zap and Rod. Yeah.
Yeah, we went up against them. Like we went,
Yeah. This.
and it was funny to go up against those big bands. Like we just had turntables and drum machine, and we caught so much flack from them drummers because they knew that their job was in question. You know, that was beef, and we had major beef with the Gap Band because we was performing with them, and you know we set up all our equipment, and we come back and our drum machine and vocoders was missing.
Wow.
And then we looked on that set, and that's where our stuff was.
That's crazy.
You
And
know,
so I jumped on the stage and I just ripped all the shit out and took our shit back. That's
That's how Charlie Wilson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's Gap Band. I'm talking about I'm Cameo. I'm sorry, Cameo.
Okay, Cameo.
Okay,
Larry Black.
okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Cameo.
you know, I always wanted to ask, especially like you and your group, like with Bam, like in that era, right? Because y'all was like the beginners, like y'all could say y'all was like the beginners.
Yeah.
How did the audience take to y'all going to all these other countries with music they barely knew about, like the style that we had in New York, compared to the styles that they were doing back when you first started?
Well, they like Planet Rock was so hard, and you know it was so crazy that shit was accepted everywhere except Washington. When we first played at, you know, Washington and get that go-go shit, them drums is hard. and they couldn't understand where these drums was coming from. Yo, they fooled the shit out of us. Like they did not appreciate this shit.
Wow. That's crazy.
When we went back the second time, you know, I guess they caught on like, yo, this is what it is. And they went crazy. But that first time, that was crazy.
I was gonna also ask, because you mentioned Planet Rock. So, what was the idea? Like, who came up with the idea to create Planet Rock?
That was a big thing with Bam, Roby, and Arthur Baker.
Okay.
And they and then Globe came up with style, the flow, and we actually sat on. We wrote rhymes, like we were just writing, like Globe came up with the major positives, and but we actually had pieces of paper here, pieces of paper there. We was literally putting shit together. Like it was, we never wrote a song like that. It was like, I forgot that movie, and the guy started singing, and his sister started grabbing the stuff out the garbage, and what's the name of that? 5 Heartbeats. Remember that?
Oh,
that
5
Yes.
Heartbeats.
Yes.
The shit was sort of like that. Like we just grabbed, and the shit was just flowing, and when we did it, being that it was so different, we was like, either this shit gonna be whack, or this shit's gonna be a hit. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I get that. I've had those moments.
And I was actually driving. I was downtown, and it was on the radio. I didn't know it was on the radio. Somebody was blasting it out their car, and the driver was going crazy. And I was like, "Oh, that's our shit." You know, it was crazy. And then next thing you know, man, it was like all over the place. Like, we was one of the first groups to take it overseas. And it's funny, when we went overseas, we first went to England, Germany, one of them. The CIA was actually following us around. And because, first of all, with the Zulu Nation title, they thought we was the new Black Panther Party. And they said when Planet Rock came on, the kids would just go berserk, and just, you know. So they thought we had a message in our song and shit. They was playing this. The kids was telling me they was playing this shit backwards to figure out if we had the shit message.
Wow,
that's crazy.
And the guy that was driving us around, he was like, "Yo, did y'all do anything at the airport?" I said, "Nah, we ain't do shit." He said, "Yo, y'all been watched." And we looked, yo, they everywhere we went, the eyes was on us. I'm like, "Yo, this shit is crazy."
Wow.
This is crazy.
It's crazy.
And you know what? I can say, I was born 15 years after that record came out, and that was one of the first old school rap records I was introduced to, Planet Rock. And what really stood out to me about Planet Rock was the intro and the synthesizer. Like, it was a culmination of things that stood out to me when I first heard Planet Rock. But, you know, me being a kid and hearing cassettes from Kiss FM and BLS that my father recorded, and hearing your record incorporated into those tapes, and hearing the synthesizers and everything, it was just an amazing moment to hear all that. So thank you, brother.
Appreciate
it. Y'all had nothing but classics, man. I think y'all was like,
y'all
had like back to back. Everything y'all was making was like, that was it at the time.
Looking for the perfect beat.
Yeah.
Planet Rock.
Well, see,
No, that's Planet Patrol.
Bam always was the type that always wanted to do different shit. So he wanted to do a group called Shango. And they did one record. I'm like, yo, my man, we hotter than fish grease right now. You know what I'm saying? But he'd always been like a bullheaded, God bless his dead, bullheaded type of person. Like, and that's how, we just kind of, things started going different, especially.
Is that song? It was on the Celluloid, I believe. It was
yeah.
Wow.
It's the music of the Shango.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, I remember that record.
He just wanted to do, and the problem was back then, record labels wanted to know where to place you. Rap category, R&B category. So now with the Shango and so sounded like Tom, everybody was confused. Like, where do we put these people? Like, where do we put Bam? Is he with the rap group? Is he with this and with that? And the shit just got crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to back it up a little bit. Minor asked about the outfits. That's, you got to realize, man, that's back when Earth, Wind and Fire and not too long. Commodores used to come out with those elaborate, outfits. That was
the Village people was doing.
That was the thing. Well, no, we ain't talking about. Well, anyway, that was the thing at the time. Everybody did that. Rick James,
had
I
like
don't
a
care
style.
who it was. Everybody had those.
You had to look. You had to look like a god. You had to look bigger than the person sitting in the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All the
if
funk
I'm on the stage, I paid all this money for a ticket. I don't want to see nobody with the same shit I got on. So those costumes gave you a god look, like you looking at like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like when we went to see Parliament, even went to see James Brown back in the days, it was like, so electrifying, like, wow, this is.
Even that old dude, Rufus, I think it was.
Rufus Thomas?
He always had, Rufus Thomas. He always had like a weird outfit in pink with the white leather boots. Everybody had like their own style.
Yeah, a lot of people like fought with the hip hop community. Like, they didn't understand. Like, we was way before, what shit, like we just like we were like like I said, the parliament of hip hop.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys, I guess you know. Well, I guess you know. Soul Sonic Folks was huge in Detroit. You know.
Yeah,
Soul-
well, techno, right?
They were big. You know, you guys' music was a big influence on techno music out of Detroit as
Yeah, they
well.
got us in all kind of categories. That's and that kept us working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
Yep.
kept
And then
us working.
And then Florida also with
Miami
Miami
bass.
bass.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that
that's
record
all
was
that
so.
shit.
Yep.
All that came from there.
Yep. That's right.
That
That's right.
just how many artists use that 808? Like you couldn't back then. You couldn't make a record if you didn't use the 808.
Yeah.
That 808 drum machine was a beast, and back then, like you had to have that 808,
Yeah.
and we was the
So-
first one to introduce it.
I'm curious. I know Kraftwerk eventually sued about that record. Do you remember those days, or do you know anything about that?
Say it again.
Kraftwerk.
Yeah. We actually. That's when we That's where, Kraftwerk is all in Planet Rock. We was big Kraftwerk fans,
Yeah.
and the first time we went
Likewise.
to see them downtown, I forgot what theater it was in. It wasn't no major big theater. It's a nice size theater. I can't remember the name. And these cats, man, they pulled out calculators and started playing the music from the calculator.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They.
Yeah, that
yeah.
shit was crazy. Like they was just playing. They was just picking up shit that they just made and playing music from it and all kinds of.
Yeah.
And
They
and
played
from
music.
that we learned from that we would the little toy guns, space guns we had back in the days. You go, they'd be lighting
yeah.
up.
Wow.
Yeah, the lighting ones.
We would open them up, and they had little speakers in them, and we would tap wires to the little speakers so we could hook them to the amp.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
crazy.
while we was on stage, we shooting the guns like
And it's coming
and
through the
noises
speakers.
like, but with the bass behind it was crazy.
Wow, that's great. Yeah,
It's crazy.
Kraftwerk, if I'm not mistaken, they have a few patents. Like they were very much into electronics, and they created some things. Yeah, they have some electronic patents, so that doesn't surprise me that they were using all the different things to play.
Yeah,
music.
they was something different, man.
Kraftwerk was so ahead of their time and
Oh,
so
for sure.
innovative, and we could do a whole podcast on that. But anyway, so we're gonna jump a little further if you fellas don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what were you gonna say, Minor?
Now I wanted to ask you, right? You came out with a winery or
I was
wine?
just going at that.
Yeah, I had my own wine, Mr. Biggs Wines, and I still got the company, and it was actually COVID really messed that up. COVID really put a number on me. I got really sick, and a lot of my stores had closed down. A lot of had just shut down, and but it was a learning experience. It's something I jumped into, and not really knowing the wine business because I don't drink or nothing. So not really knowing the wine business, and the wine business is something you got to know.
Yes.
If you and I lost a lot of money. Well, I lost a lot of money, but it was a true experience. Like now, if I get back into it, and I know so much more, So I wouldn't say that I lost. I learned. Like I paid, I paid to learn what I know. Cost a nice penny, but I'm good, and I'm ready to do it again.
Wow,
That's it.
that's dope. So are you
But
guys? Are you working on any new music or anything now?
No. Actually, I've been doing a bunch of Sonos on the AI shit.
Oh,
yeah.
Doing a bunch of songs on that. Just having fun with it, like I got over 70 songs,
Wow.
but it's so much red tape and catch to that. So I just be doing them just for fun, you know.
Okay.
And let me ask you now. Now I know a lot of the guys are passed. You know, may they all rest in peace.
Yeah,
and
rest
may
in
they
peace.
be with God. Will you still do shows if people was to?
Yeah,
call you to do shows?
we're looking to do shows because actually myself, Globe, and Ike. Now Ike was his original Soul Sonic Force. He was down with the Cosmic Force, but he's the original Soul Sonic Force, Little Ike C, they called him, and he actually did more shows with me than Power Island Globe.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, because Powell at the time he had some issues, and then Globe had little elements here and there, but he's good now. So we actually looking for a booking agency right now and just start doing shows.
Oh, okay, that was what's up. Man, I miss Power. I remember when I moved to the Bronx. He said, "Yo, man, I got you, man." He came all the way to Harlem when we was living over there with Red Alert. When I was living with Red and Mike G and them, and when I was like, "Yo, I'm moving to the Bronx," he said, "Don't worry, I got you, man. Get a rental." He came, man. He helped me move to the Bronx. Me and Big Jeff.
Yeah.
You know, he was a wonderful person.
Powell, he could move through a room full of vultures, man. Like Powell end up in straight enemy territory. I'm like, how's this dude? I'm like, yo, wow, man, you know where you at? Those are my peoples. And I'm like, yo, he's everywhere. I'm like, yo, this dude is different, man.
Yeah,
This
Power.
dude is dirty. He was living right in enemy territory, and it's like
He got along with everybody.
you got with everybody.
Yeah, I know two other people like that.
That's a blessing.
They could be anywhere. They could be. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know some folks like that.
That's a
Yeah,
blessing.
they just get along with everybody. Like that's crazy.
So, did you guys get inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or am I tripping?
Nah, we were supposed to, and how did this go? Like they just wanted to do BAM, and then people were like, "Nah, you got to do the whole group."
Mm-hmm.
And one thing led to another, and it just didn't happen.
Oh wow. Okay.
Man.
So tell us, man, some of those stories. That I know you gotta have some of them stories, man.
Zulu stir them
some
stories.
Zulu stories, and tell us one story that you'll always remember, that you ain't never forget.
There's so many stories.
One of your favorite ones.
Or a couple.
What,
Yeah.
You know what always with the first in my eyes, the first breakdance battles, it was like I said, our Zulu dancers against brothers from Bronxdale. Bronxdale is where Disco King Mario is from. He's another founder that people be disputing.
Rest in peace to him.
Exactly. And we was at 123. It's Bam versus Mario, and Bam was playing, and you know our guys were dancing, break dancing, and then Mario, it was a brother named Sterling, called him Little Bam, Cookie. It was some couple other cats, and they just started breaking in front of him, like battling, like, and we thought they getting ready to fight. You know, so everybody's getting ready to just jump, and then somebody started screaming, "No, they just dancing. And they was going at it, man. It was like some breakdance shit I never even saw. It was amazing. It was amazing because now everybody trying to do their best because they going up against somebody. But what at those parties back then at 123, now we young, like we 14, 15. But it was this older brother. He was older than us. He would just stand on against the wall. And then when Bam would put on that record, ain't no half
Stepping. Heat wave.
Yeah. Now he would just start from one part of the gym, and he just had this one move, going all the way around the gym, and you turn around, it was a whole line following him.
Wow.
Going around,
Wow.
yo, it was that was amazing, man. Like he had the whole crowd following him, and then when the record stopped, he just stopped. Like he went back against the wall. And said,
Wow.
but it's so much. For some reason, that always stay on my mind. Like that dude would just start dancing, everybody would just follow him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got so I didn't forget so much shit.
I'm sure there's a plenty, because I know Red Alert, and Red told me stories of how he used to carry his tape deck to the jams and would record all the jams on cassette. Do the jams on tape.
Red was like, Red is somebody that waited his turn. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like,
why he always told me. He said I used to sit in the corner and
He
just
told
wait
me
for
that
me
too.
to be put on.
he waited because first of all he was from Manhattan, and Jazzy J, which is his cousin.
His cousin.
when
Yep.
he moved to Bronx River, and that's a whole nother story. It's funny because when Jazzy J got down, he was a DJ for Mario first, right? And he was doing the scratching, and his name was John, and everybody saying, "Yo, Mario got this new DJ, yo, he bad, he's this, that, and the other." And so we was like, "Who the hell is he?" And they said, "Yo, it's John." He said he live in Bronx River. I said, "John." Now the thing with Jazzy, because Jazzy used to live in my building, and we used to, as kids, we used to go around, find bike parts and like put bikes together. Like we always had a bike. Like we always built bikes. And then me and him had a falling out, and he started hanging in Bronxdale with Mario. He started DJing. Because he said he came to a party when we was playing at the old center, because Bronx River got the community center and then got an old center before the community center was built. And he said when he walked in, the first one he heard on the mic was Pepsi. That's another thing. Like a lot of people say Shot Rock the first MC. I always hate that first shit, but and they say, because I said, nah, well, Pepsi was rocking before I even knew about a Shot Rock.
Wow.
Shot Rock probably didn't even touch the mic when Pepsi was rocking.
Wow.
But then they say, but she wasn't spitting bars. And my thing to that, like, if you day one, you wasn't spitting bars. So
Right.
if you came in the game spitting bars, you ain't day one. You know what I'm saying? You could be day 1.5, day 1.25, maybe day 2. But if you come in the game, you saying rhymes, like, because that's not what we did. You know what I'm saying?
So
we
she was
pick up the crowd. Everything was about the DJ.
Yeah. So Pepsi was the first MC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Day one MCs.
Okay.
That's not, we wasn't spitting bars.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because they say, what's his name? Cool Herc DJ, Clark Kent.
Clark Kent, yeah.
MC. I mean, not Clark Kent.
Coke La Rock.
Coke La Rock.
Cool.
I said, well, then if Coke was the first, then I got to be the second. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw everybody come through the door.
Exclusive.
You know what I'm saying? Kaz, Mel, all of them. I watched them come through the door. Like, so these guys be like, you're the first. No, you're not the first, man. But I'm like, I be on some humble shit. Like, yeah, you want to be the first? I'm past shit on mine,
Exclusive.
My mind works different. Like, I get ticked off quick and then it go to a different level. So I learned to leave shit alone.
Right.
After you start getting older, you learn just leave this shit alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that went. But back to Jazzy, he was DJing with Mario. And when we found out it was him, I said, yo, that's John, you live in my building. And then Bam sends Powwow Cousin, which was about Jazzy size, the whip his ass to make him, come join with us, stay with us. His name was Johnny too. And Johnny was good with his hands. But Jazzy was good with one thing about Jazzy, that little son bitch, He's a warrior. He is a warrior. He beat the shit out of Johnny, man.
Wow. Wow.
So Jazzy J is short for Jazzy John, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. And when he decided to leave, because he had all his records, a lot of people don't know this. Mary had his records, so Mary's like, "Nah, you can't leave. You can't leave, yo. We got to fight, boom, boom, boom." Jazzy put it on. So Jazzy
Put a whooping on.
he put it on. So Jazzy it was Jazzy and what's his name? Ice from Jazzy 5. They had another Ice. He passed away too, I think.
Okay.
Ice? I can't remember. But it was those two. And they would take one crate of records, walk down halfway down the block, go back at the other crate, walk that down the block, walk all the way to Bronx River. That shit was about a mile doing that shit. But then he started getting down with us.
Wow.
He started getting down with us. But yeah, Jazzy something on them turn. He was something on those turntables.
He was mean,
Jazzy J.
clean on that set. Jazzy was clean.
He was nice on it,
Still nice,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still doing his thing.
Yeah, man. Wow.
So, it's
But those are just fun times, man, and to hear the stories like now, like everybody want to be part of, like everybody want to be number one. Like you got kids. I'm 65. You got kids. Well, they're not kids. Like 6 or 7 years younger than me. Talking about they started hip hop. They did this. Everybody, I'm like, yo, what is all this? You come like I'm looking at social media, and what's the brother name? Max Beach, some shit like that.
I just saw something with him
he's
today.
More relevant than Kane.
Yep.
And DMX. I'm like, yo, who are you? Like, how do you make statements like that? Like these dudes are like the greatest. Like DMX, man. God bless the dead, man. That's like my number one. I think that's the best MC ever.
Why do you say that?
That dude, man, you listen to, I'll be in the gym, and that's all I'll be having, like, his lyrics was just crazy, man.
Yeah, he was different.
You just, that's that dude, like, so.
DMX brought New York. I remember this unequivocally. When after the West Coast, after Dre and Snoop kind of came through, and they took the hip hop game to California. DMX was the first big dude out of the East.
Y.O.
to punch back like pow. It was DMX. I'll never forget that. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
DMX was a bad dude. But just to watch the game grow the way it did, like when people would tell us, like getting back to Cameo, we was like, well, y'all better enjoy this because this hip hop shit is only gonna last 3 years. And every time I could hear his voice say that shit, and I'm looking at this is like over $1 billion industry.
And look, I was gonna say, look where it is now.
That's
52 years later.
It's crazy just to think that you helped build that. Sometimes it just it don't even stick in. Like even with Planet Rock, it didn't really sink in. Like how big that record was until I was listening to a podcast. David Letterman, after he lost his show, he had Shaquille on his podcast, and Shaquille said before he took the test to get into college, the teacher would let him listen to his Walkman, and on the he said his Walkman, he just played Planet Rock.
wow.
And
he said that shit. I was like, yo.
And Planet Rock. Sorry.
Shout out to Shaquille.
And
that was, that's my guy. When I heard him say that, I was like, wow.
And
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
And when he said that, I was like, wow. That then that just everything just came to full circle. Like that record was really something else, man. It still is. I'm like,
It still is when you
All
play
day.
it. It's
like,
Yeah,
it should
it's
be
still-
all over the
yeah.
internet. Like
That's a classic.
if I be telling like a woman can be pregnant right now, and that kid's become a DJ, he's gonna have Planet Rock in his crate or whatever they do, gonna have 40 years from now. And it was funny because years ago, because my oldest son, which just turned 40, he's a big Jay-Z fan. Right? That's another cat I like a lot, Jay-Z. And I knew how long ago because I was taking him to get a pair of sneakers. So you can imagine how long that was when you taking your son to get a pair of sneakers. And we went in the store. Planet Rock was playing. I said, see, boy, now I want you to call me 30 years from now when you walk in, because at that time, Planet was about 30 years old. I said, now, when you walk in the store 30 years from now and you hear a Jay-Z song, you call me. You know what I'm saying? And every now and then I mess with him. I'm like, yo, you ever walk in the store and hear a Jay-Z song? No, Dad. You ain't.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because I asked that a lot. Like, you know, compared to the times when we was coming up, our music, you could walk into a store anywhere today, TV, commercials, and even movies, and I could still hear your music play. But like I tell my grandkids, the stuff you hearing now, you might not hear it when you my age.
Yeah.
Because that music is for your time, but our music was meant to last forever.
Forever. And that's the way it is. Like I just got an email to I guess they're getting ready to do another, I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying, I don't care. Another Shrek movie.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
And it's just gonna be the donkey.
Oh yeah, I heard about that way with the donkey.
So they just asked me, to use Planet Rock.
Wow.
It just
That's
called.
awesome.
So we be getting a lot of that, man. See, with us, like we own our own publishing. So,
Awesome.
Back then we never signed. We didn't sign nothing. Like we were just too evil. Like we ain't signing nothing. So Tom, like, yo, they want to sign contract. We're not signing.
Wow.
We ain't sign shit.
And it's paying off now.
Yeah. Well, we had a good lawyer. Like, when you don't know nothing, that's a lot of people get into this game, man, and they just
absolutely
don't. They don't do due diligence and find out what this game is really about. This shit,
truthfully, myself included.
Is it happening all like you don't know? Like, I remember the first big check I got. I took that shit to the check cashing place.
They thought you robbed a bank. They thought you robbed the bank.
I didn't have a bank account. Fortunately, the dude that had the checking account, Randy, he knew me since I was young. He's like, no, big, you got to open up a bank account. And, it was crazy. But we had a good attorney, Lita Rosario.
Love to hear it.
From Washington, man. She was no joke. She was no joke.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear
like today with all this streaming, and I don't even know how. I know you gotta have so many streamings. I don't even understand all that shit, but
it's a lot out here.
It's a lot, but I know our records still play a lot. In the streamings and.
If I may interject and say, not only, like I said, first exposure I had was when I was a kid hearing cassettes that my father taped, but how I knew Planet Rock was big was I was in, when you're in gym class and you do like the sports like basketball and, like do the sports in gym class, the teacher would put on music and almost every other week it was Planet Rock, and then when the kids did the talent show, from what I was told, because, I'm blind, so I can't see. From what I was told, they were doing some sort of breakdancing stuff, and Planet Rock was played. And at that point, that record was out like 25, 26 years, something later. And, you know, it's just amazing how we're talking about Planet Rock and your contributions almost 45 years now.
Yeah, it was. The song this is amazing. I mean, we was doing a show in California, and after the show, the two Mexican brothers ran up. You know, they was giving us daps, you know, hugging, showing us love. And one guy, he was like, when Planet Rock came out, 2 weeks or 3 weeks after Planet Rock came out, he got locked up.
Mm.
You know, and then he had just came home, and he had just saw us. So he was like happy as hell. And then he had on a long sleeve shirt. And I wonder why this dude got on a long sleeve shirt, hot as hell. And so he can ready to take his shirt off. And his man was like, chill, I said, chill. So well, evidently on his arms was all the tattoos. Make a long story short, he was in the wrong part of town.
Oh, wow.
With those tattoos. And he was like, fuck that. If I die, I die today knowing I saw So Sonic. I know my man ain't that serious, man. Leave that shirt off, man. You ain't got to die for us, man. See, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was crazy.
That was a true fan right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dang.
Yeah, man.
And I'm a fan. Like I said, I was just saying to the fellas while you were signing off, I remember the first blend I did with Planet Rock, and I'm sure a lot of DJs did it, but I blended your track with Numbers, Kraftwerk's.
Yeah.
And that was, I made a CD at the time, because that was, do you guys remember when Japan had that earthquake? Or that, and I was trying to make a donation CD, and I'm going to play some old school, and I played Planet Rock and blended that with Numbers, Kraftwerk's.
That's dope.
Yeah, they're still making remixes with Planet Rock. I mean, that record is like eternal.
I mean,
even when we're gone, it's going to still live on.
So many people use that record, man. So many. Like, we was in, was it, where the hell were we? I forgot. But, Too Short. He was talking, yo, Too Short is he really a student of the culture, man. This dude was asking me so many questions, man. Yo, I couldn't get away. Like, he and then it was Too Short. And what's that other group? Oh man, I forgot that group. I'm bad with names, man. When he was like, yo, Biggs, we use your song so many times. They don't even care about telling you they use this song. I'm like, I had my lawyer call and said, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay,
Yeah. But he was like, yeah, you use your song so many times. I was like, yeah, all right.
You know,
matter of fact, speaking of that, I got sued for using Planet Rock, and I didn't even sample Planet Rock. I sampled something else. I used
Use the first part of it.
No, it was another record. I forgot what the other record was, but it wasn't Planet Rock. It was the same sounding record.
It was on
But
Fight the Power?
But it wasn't Planet Rock. But they didn't even tell me about it until after it was pretty much over. I'm like, that wasn't Planet Rock. But by that time, it was too late. Yeah, I made a Miami bass record on my. I think it was my second album. What was the name of that record? Anyway, yeah, but the rent company had to pay, but it wasn't Planet Rock. It was something else. I forgot what it was.
Well, that's another thing. We got paid like you just said. Songs that even sound like Planet Rock.
Yeah.
It was. We was getting paid for that. I was like,
Yeah.
And you know, it's so funny. When I was a kid, I used to be in my room playing me music, and my mother would be mad. Stop playing all that junk. Play the only song. But when I play rappers they like or your song, those was her favorite songs. I guess she wanted me to play those two songs. She like, yo, see, those are good songs. But the other ones, they garbage. I'm like, Mom, but they awesome. She used to love that song.
the game definitely changed, man.
Yeah.
You know, them brothers started going out there hurting and killing each other. You know,
Yeah,
make
like
a
music
song, then
today.
they talk about killing the person in the song and make fun of the person that died. I'm like, this shit wasn't supposed to be like this, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing I don't respect
Yeah.
music of today, because music of today shows so much fake stuff. Like these guys riding in Mercedes. I be telling my grandkids, you see all those Ferraris and all those jewelries and all this. These cats owning airplanes. That's all a video. A lot of that stuff ain't even theirs.
Yeah, a lot of
That's-
that stuff is fake.
Fake,
yeah,
man.
The game definitely changed.
Yeah, and kids, they
I tell you,
see
but
that.
when-
That's
when,
what
um,
they want.
But when Public Enemy came out, man, y'all guys, man, that put a breath of fresh air back in hip hop, man.
Yeah.
they sure did.
Yeah.
Hip hop needed that, boy.
Yeah, they sure did.
The hood needed that.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
they gotta check on reality then.
black folks needed that.
Yeah.
In
Appreciate it,
general,
appreciate
man, that was, man. Y'all used to come out, man. Them sound like, yo, these brothers here.
Yeah, people
I was
like,
like, yo,
people
okay.
started wearing the like the leather medallions with the African medallions and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a good time.
Now I thought of one thing. Now that record, Peace, Unity, Love, and Having Fun. How did you and how'd y'all collaborate with James Brown on that record?
Well, that was James. That was Bam and James.
Okay.
And Bam always wanted to do. That's like his biggest idol.
Okay.
He always wanted to do a song with James Brown, and James Brown and Tommy Boy reached out to his people, and one thing led to another, and they made that song. But here's the thing about that: we was up in the studio, and Bam, I forgot what the line was, but he made a mistake, and he wanted to go back and fix it. And James was like, no, you don't fix nothing. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I said, oh, shit. And I cursed. He said, oh, Mr. Bill, you can't curse around me. You can't curse around me. I don't tolerate that. I'm looking, I'm like, yo. All right,
I just got told by the Godfather.
Yo.
Wow.
But there was even saying that, when we did B Street, and we was getting ready to go to the Cannes Festival with Harry Belafonte, and we was late as hell for rehearsal, and I was actually the first one there. And yo, he went in on me like, y'all rappers ain't never on fucking time, and then, we just started. And I'm trying to like maintain like.
Is this Harry or James?
You know what I'm saying? Trying to show him respect. And he just came going. I said, yo, my man, if you curse at me one more time, I'm gonna beat the shit out your old ass.
Oh wow.
And ever since then, we was cool the whole tour and everything, yo. It was that was crazy, man. I really tried to hold back, like try to show that he just kept going on and on and on. I'm like, I'm about to beat this nigga up right now.
That's Harry Belafonte?
Yeah, Harry Belafonte.
Wow. I guess he eventually warmed up to the rappers. Warmed up the rappers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this ain't gonna look right, Mr. Big.
Mr. Big beat down Harry Belafonte.
Wow.
I even walked away. I started walking away. He was like right behind me, like, yo, this dude.
Yeah, because he
I knew you had some good stories,
that's
man.
a great story.
Yeah.
But that's because you got to realize, man. I mean, I wasn't there, but I can only imagine. He came up in a time where, he was opportunities. It wasn't like even in the 80s or late 70s. He came out in a time where it was so like being black and being an entertainer was a whole other ball game. They had to be disciplined. You couldn't
afford to be late.
You had to,
if you ain't there, somebody else took your turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's probably why he was like that.
But yeah, that was crazy, man. And then and around James Brown was different. That was great.
So is there any advice you want to give to any upcoming rappers, DJs, or anybody?
Or the youth of today,
Yes.
the kids.
Well, with this, I would just say understand, what you're getting involved with. Do your due diligence. Like, make sure you get a lawyer and understand the paperwork, man, because it's a lot of money that's been left on the table, not just left on the table, that's on somebody else's table. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And you guys are just getting robbed, man.
Yep.
They hit you with that nigga money, and meanwhile they off to the bank and investing in stocks and their children's future, and you still trying to make ends meet, like when it's all said and done. At the end of the day, everybody gonna become old school.
Yeah.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. It's
And
a cycle.
I got one more good story. We was doing a show in Virginia, and the promoter, back you get half of your money up front sent to the age booking agency, and you supposed to, you get the other half, at the venue. And so the promoter cut out, and we setting up on the stage, we ready to perform. So I tell the road manager, like, yo, where's the money? Yo, Biggs, I can't find the dude. I said, you mean you can't find the dude? And he was like, yo, I can't find him. I said, yo, what we gonna do, perform? I said, we're not performing, man. So I told the cats to start unplugging the equipment and start loading back onto the bus. And so they were like, now the crowd see what's going on, so the crowd getting angry. You know what I'm saying? And so Jazzy, he's so with his turntable. I said, well, Jazz, don't worry about the turntable. They're gonna put the turntables on. They're gonna put the turntables on the bus. Don't worry about it. So I snatched one turn. I had one turntable in one hand and I had Jazzy up under my other arm. And we were walking out. So I threw him on the bus. It's the funniest shit. And so I never forget the bus driver and this white, we take off on the bus. People was behind us. And this white Camaro comes in front and he tried to block the bus. And I was like, yo, my man, you can't stop, man. He said, what I'm doing? It was a creek. I said, yo, just hit the car, knock it, don't worry about it. We got you. And he ain't want it, so we put pressure on it. Yo, that Camaro went right into that creek. Yo, that was the funniest shit. Yo, really, you got some stories, man.
That's crazy. I was like, why would you pull in front of a bus?
Yeah.
I was like, why would you pull in front of a big old bus?
Yo, and at the end of the day, we from the Bronx. Like, yo, we still doing Bronx shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's doing Bronx shit.
And back then, you got away with more stuff than you can today.
Yeah, because there's not that many cameras, right? Surveillance cameras.
Exactly.
Right?
There are cameras shit today. And
You can't do nothing these days.
Oh, man.
Do you know Africa Islam?
Islam?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. We played. I'm gonna tell you a story about Islam, man. Islam was probably Barry Sanders before he was Barry Sanders. To see this kid run that book, we played high school ball together. Yo, that dude was one of the best running. I actually coach high school football now. I coach at Kennedy High School in the Bronx. I've been coaching for over 40 years. And but to see Islam run was different, man. This kid, yo, he was so fast and so quick. The moves he used to put on people, I was like, yo, who is this dude, man? And like, I grew up playing football, like, cause he just moved he moved in Parkchester. That wasn't too far from Bronx River. And no, he moved to another area before Parkchester.
Wow.
But he moved from, I want to say Massachusetts somewhere. But anyway, he just popped up, like, this dude just popped up. And yo, he was some running back. And at the same time, he was DJing on the side, and his MC was this cat named Ed LaRock. Ed LaRock actually went to Monroe with us. He was actually in the 9th grade. He was the first Zulu member that got murdered. I don't know, we had a like taking wrong identity type of thing, but he was a hell of an MC,
Wow.
and that was Islam's first MC at
Wow.
Rock.
Yeah, I used to roll hard with Africa Islam when he was rolling with Ice-T. We was on tour
Wow.
together. He had a house in L.A. He had this like an atrium, like this room in the middle of his place, and he had all big iguanas and stuff in there. Yeah, if you next time you talk to him, give him my number. You got my number now. Give him my number. I'd love to speak to him. Yeah.
I remember hearing.
I was talking to Ice. He said, "Yo, Biggs, man, Islam the only motherfucker I know who had a duck that drowned."
Yeah, now that you're talking about him, how did that commercial come along?
Yo, that commercial, I had a
The transmission commercial, right?
yeah, I had the car show
Yeah.
and
Car show, yeah.
transmission on one of my. I had a Ford. I don't know. I always had a lot of cars, and from this car, the transmission went on. It was a Ford, some Ford shit, and then I had car sale at the time, and when I took it into the shop, I told them I had car sale, and 3 days later, it's like, yo, come get your car. And I came, got the car, and I called yo Ice, man. That car show shit really worked, man. he's like, yo, Big, you use car show? He said, yeah, I got you. And then his people called me to shoot the commercial.
Wow.
Yeah, Ice is, that's like one of the realest cats, especially in this game, man. There's so many fucking phony people, man.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
So many. This shit is crazy how phony people are. But Ice is like one of the true, like, real dudes, man. That's a real dude.
Yep.
Because he ain't had to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't had to do that. Yeah, but he, even through the years, I knew Ice for a lot of years. And it's funny because when I first went to his crib out in California, and his wife at the time, or Darlene, she came downstairs. And she was dressed, but I guess she wasn't dressed good enough. And he was like, nah, go back upstairs, get that pretty eye, Mr. Biggs, and then go put some fucking clothes on. I was like, yo, Ice, you bugged out, man.
Yeah, man. He
Zulu Beats.
He has some crazy stories. Too.
WHBI.
Yeah, that was like, that's how, with the beats, with band, with the beats, that's how come, when people, that's another thing, everybody talk about that day one shit. That's why I never, Herc is my man, my brother, I love him. But I never would give him the Godfather of hip hop. I can't give him that title. Because back in the days, like, he wasn't hip hop. Like, you couldn't, like we was straight up, like, band, we was straight grinding. You know what I'm saying? We just finished gang banging late.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We wasn't putting on, we wasn't getting flying to go to no party. We wasn't doing that. We created our own, this is who we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get into a Herc party, back in the days, like with
you
jeans.
had to dress up.
You had to dress up. We used to call them the coolies, like, cause Bronx River had a big Herc following. They was the older brothers. Yeah, with the mark necks and the gold chain. That was Herc. Like, I remember one time, like, one of the cats, young brothers, went to a Herc party from Bronx River, and he started breakdancing, and they roughed him up, and threw him out.
Wow.
And we was ready to go roll on him. Like, we was gonna just shut the party down. And Bam, one thing about Bam, man, people can say whatever the fuck they want about Bam, that dude kept a whole lot of bumps out of the ground. if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That dude, he has so much power, like, and I tell people, regardless of all that shit, whatever the fuck he did, whatever, if he said we wanted to be part of the gang the drug world, I said only three things would be happening. We all would have been filthy rich, we all would have been dead, or we all would have been just getting out of jail.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It was like 4,000 of us. You know, and they ain't got nothing to do with chapters we had in California, chapters we had in Chicago, chapters we had in Detroit. You know, if this dude was to say, yo, we gonna get into the drug world, you can name the biggest drug dealers in New York. Who gonna stop you? We sending 200 people knocking on your door, you know, dangling your mom from the roof. You know, like, and we were young and we was ruthless, like, but we yelled peace and love because we never started trouble. You know, that was our thing, never started trouble. That was one of our rules, never start trouble. But when trouble do come, fight like hell.
Yeah.
Like, we had, and I tell people, like, the shit we had as young kids, like 15, 16, the stuff we had, it was crazy. I mean, we rode on the police road. This was crazy. The police rolled on us. But what happened early in the day, they jumped beat the shit out of one of the cats, one of the brothers. So we rolled back on them. And I'm gonna tell you something. They sent little tanks in the project, like one-man tanks. Like shit, I know, the police department got some shit. They got some shit. They sent some shit. They sent some shit in there, like, whoa.
Wow.
They sent some shit up in that project. We damn sure rolled on them shit. And it was one time, like, when we first started, remember I said they thought we was the new Black Panther Party?
Yes, sir.
We were sitting outside the center. That's when everybody had beepers. And everybody's beeper went off then at the same time. And that's when we had to go to the payphone and call. Everybody went to the payphone and called. And then somebody just said, I think it was Ahmed, said, hey, yo, that's the fucking FBI. Wow. And everybody that had that call was the fucking FBI. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
This is crazy.
I remember how powerful Zulu Nation was. You know, I was from I grew up on Long Island, but even out there, you know, like I was too young to participate in that stuff. But I would hear, I knew people that when I came out for Zulu Nation. Zulu Nation was powerful.
Yeah, we went out. We was on. You said Long Island, Staten Island.
Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island. When we went out there with this guy's family, man, they showed us mad love. PMD? Is PMD from out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Paris?
From me,
Paris, yes.
He's from Long Island, yeah.
Paris. His older brother was down with us.
Wow. That's crazy.
We went out there, we played music, and, you know, Paris had to be about 9-10 years old, like. Yeah, but, yo, that's the first time we went out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was with Chapter 3 in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
Brooklyn, that's when,
from Bushwick.
what was that? Remember they had, what's those brothers used to wear the white, Dr. York?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dr. York. Wow. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Now, Dr. York, he was Dr. York by night, and he had some cult following by day. Like, they had their own community. And all the guys, all the males had to live in one building, and all their wives had to live in another. He just did whatever he had to do. So one time we went out there, and they had their own community, they had their own restaurant. So we go into the restaurant, and the guy said, brother, you want to try some of this soup? I said, no, I'm good. He said, brother, this is fish head soup, brother. The fish is the smartest part of the fish. You know, it's so much, this soup is so good for your brain, brother. And he's pushing this fish head soup. And I'm saying to myself, I said, brother, if that fish is so smart, why is his head in your pot?
I knew that's where it's going.
Yo,
That's crazy.
You're so smart.
yo,
How
he
you
did
end up
not
in that?
like that.
Yeah.
Yo, he was so upset, man. Oh, that was the funniest shit. Like, I tell your brother, I don't want none of your fish head soup, man. And I'm saying, the whole
I think
time
they
I'm
were right
thinking,
there in the corner of Bushwick and Bushwick and Myrtle. They were in that corner there.
Yeah. That's
Bushwick
what
and
it was
Myrtle,
at.
yeah, they were there for a long time.
But that brother, man, his studio, he had a studio. Back then, I never saw a wireless studio before. He had a wireless studio. That shit was crazy. That was crazy, man.
That's dope.
Man.
That was crazy.
Well, Mr. Big, we're gonna wrap this show up, man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
We
Biggs.
had a legend.
One.
For the people that don't know, that's a legend right there.
Legendary legend.
Legend
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all legends.
I
The
appreciate
beginning.
it, man. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much. It was an honor.
And I
to have
appreciate
you.
everybody, man, that people like yourself, rest of Public Enemy, them, man, that just kept this thing going, man. You know, because they had this shit dead, man, and every time it would die down, here come another act, here come another, here come Public Enemy. Just keep it going, man, and it's been a blessing, man. This hip-hop shit really been a blessing.
Amen.
And I'm glad that we all laid the foundation. You know, we all laid the bricks to
Mr.
make it
Biggs,
what it is today.
thank you,
know
brother,
what I'm saying?
for
It's something that, you know, I tell my my youngest granddaughter's 8, oldest 10. They might not understand, but I'm willing to what this is hip hop. You know, this is who did this. This is who did that. You know, I let them know about the game, man. Like this thing, man. This is what we created. Not just me, man. You guys, what we created, man. It's remarkable, man. Like this shit will go on forever. Like we all left our footprints in the sands of time.
Yes.
Yeah,
We dead
man.
and going. Like we in that full top box. People
Yes,
gonna
sir.
remember.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We
With
appreciate
Mr.
you.
Biggs. Thank
God
you.
bless you.
My
And we
brother.
hope to hear
We
from
love
you
you,
again.
brother.
Love you,
All right,
man.
man. Y'all be safe, man.
Respect.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Respect.
Peace and
Hey,
love.
brother.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace, Aki.
That's gonna do it for this episode of the Terminator Xperience podcast, hosted by DJ DVS, Minor, and the legendary Terminator X. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and leave a review, and tap in with us on social media for clips, updates, and behind the scenes. Until next time, keep the culture first, keep the sound heavy, and keep it locked right here.